it was a little bit of a choice between control simulation and flight performance, because I really like the programming side of engineering and working with computers. And both tracks are really focused on that. And for me, the final decision came from the fact that I want to work in a certain area, namely motorsport, so Formula 1 or something like that. And performance, flight performance is a really good general umbrella for the topics that are useful for that.
My profile, I went to flight performance rather than propulsion because I wanted to focus, I didn't want to focus on one part. I wanted to focus on more like the general design of the aircraft. I think propulsion is to focus on the engine.
Yeah, it did. It's a good combination of, on the one hand, very theoretical knowledge, for example, aerodynamics, but also from jet engines and aircraft in general. And on the other hand, you're learning really relevant topics in the sense that you're learning new design methodologies where they fully exploit the opportunities that computers give us. So you will be programming a lot. And I really like that, but it's not just programming, you're also really tackling the physics of airplanes, which is, for me, it's great.
I think it's pretty balanced. We also had massive assignments and also theoretical lectures. So it's balanced. And I really like that professors try to showcase the theory in certain assignments, showing how things work. And this also allows us to better understand the underlying physics or the whole thing.
The structure, I would say that it has a lot of, how do you say, projects instead of exams. You have many subjects that they are more focused on projects directly and projects working with other people, which I like the most. And I will say that this is also a bit of a difference with the bachelor, right? That you have, instead of more exams, you have more projects. And I found that it was more focused on practice than theory.
There's a recommended list of the electives. I went through them and I saw, okay, which one of the titles interests me, and I read the description study guide, and then at the end I chose the ones that really were in my interest. So for example, I wanted to also pursue some sustainability courses, which I took, and then among the ones that were more interesting, I tried to pick the ones that weren't unrealistic workload, because some of them were.
Well, really just think, what am I already learning here, and what am I missing? So what do I still want to learn? And then, then there's a really large list of electives actually that you can do. So I think you can also do subjects from different faculties, but it really just starts with the question, what else do I want to know?
So I really am trying to do something that is really related to the aircraft, aircraft design ideally, but anything related to aviation would be nice, because, and I also want to do it in the Netherlands. So for example, I'm just looking in some companies. I would say like one advice for new students is that you can really benefit from going into the Delftse Bedrijvendagen, which happens in February. There you can see a lot of companies from the Netherlands and you can talk to all of them. So that's what I also did this year.
To get a good feeling for which internships were there, I looked at the Brightspace page and I sent a couple of letters through there actually, and through there I got through to Fokker, and I got to do my internship there. So you should try a few different ones, because you're probably not going to get the first one you try. But I think the Brightspace page is a really good starting point for your quest.
At the start, I maybe got set back by looking at the requirements of the internship and seeing that they have maybe 10 requirements and I only met half of them. But at one point I just decided to apply anyway, even though I might have not met all of them, and I said that in my interviews. And most of the time I found that actually the job description isn't always exactly what they want from you, and in the interview they tell you more about it. So I wouldn't be discouraged from applying to an internship just because at first glance it seems like I wouldn't be fit for it.
Yes, there were many challenges, but mostly because of myself. I started applying really late, and I thought the steps of applying of the application take less time, but it ended up that nothing is carved in stone until you start working. So start every process in time.
Very straightforward, actually. I went to my supervisor, which I really wanted to do the topic with, or my thesis with. I sent him an email, hey, do you have topics available for me, which are in this area, because I'm really interested in that. And he said, well, yeah, I actually have. These are the topics. Let's have a discussion and we'll see which direction we'll go.
I think there is a professor that I want to do it with because I generally like the theses that he's had in the past, and I've heard nice stories about them. So yeah, I definitely am going to approach this professor and ask him what thesis topics there are.
I did not experience problems per se, but it's true that before I started looking, I was a bit anxious about it because it's a topic that you're working 9 months in. So you really must give your best at finding the one that you like, because 9 months doing it on something that you don't like can be very bad for your studies in general, and just for life. So I was very stressed about it. But actually, once I started working, I realized that there were many topics that I liked. So I think the best advice that I can give is, if you're feeling anxious about it, start looking for a topic, and you will see that suddenly it will disappear.
Finding a topic was probably the easiest challenge for me during this master. I think if you go to professors, they are really open to discuss topics, and they are usually quite flexible as well. So you can really shape your thesis how you like it.